has over 30 years of higher education experience and has assisted in establishing several programs and initiatives to support students, including the African American Student Advisory Circle, the Diversity Council, a safe space for the LGBTQ plus community, as well as many others. Personally, I have had the honor to work with Dean Katz on the team to advance Latinx population on campus. And let me tell you, in Spanish, chef's kiss perfection. It is my great pleasure and honor to you to present today Dean Katz, a man who truly stands for all students to feel accepted and at home, because up is where we live.
Yeah. Love that. Thank you. Colleagues, I appreciate it so much. I'm going to be referring to you in all times as leaders. As members of the very first upstate cohort for the leadership certificate, you will always be my leaders. So I will do my best to get to know you on a first name basis, but I will also be calling you usually leader and then your last name. So Dean Kerwald, for example, would be the leader Kerwald. And so Zach Woods, whom I met at the Upstate Business School orientation, could be the leader Woods. Because I've got to have you practice seeing yourself as leaders for the present and for the future. Leader Woods, Leader Sands, Leader Unsucker. Unsicker. It's an I. Thank you. I'm not wearing my glasses. And you know, and it will take me a little while to get to know you by name, so I need your help. I'm Dean Katz, but I really like it when you just call me DK. You know? But when you're writing me, I'm the only K-A-T-Z in the Outlook directory, which makes it very convenient. My name will come right up when you need me. I need 24 to 48 hours to respond. Today we're going to do a couple of things involving motivation as the heart of the matter. In leadership and management, understanding the power of positivity is hugely important. And you, as members of what we refer to in our business as Generation Z, are usually bombarded with images of coarseness, negativity, and incivility. It is a national and even regional environment in which women and men are, as national icons, are continuously putting each other down, and not just on the basis of their ideas, but simply on the basis of who they are. Please know that I am old enough to be your brother. And so as a result of my age and experience, I would want you to know it's not how I was reared. You must treat others with the kind of respect with which you hope to receive in turn. But that's not how you're being raised by the social media that surround you. You will be a much more popular and powerful and necessary leader in the industry you enter if you'll remember the impact of positive thinking. That's the focus of our 50 minutes together. It's about thinking positively. So are you ready to play our first game?
Yeah.
DK does not lecture. He engages in exercises that pull all leaders, whatever gender and or race, ethnicity, orientation, disability, or internationality you possess. We pull out of each other what we know through our working together. I need someone to write for me. Oh, thank you, Emily. Won't you write for me? That's great that you volunteered so quickly. Would you come up here and use the magic marker and the newsprint? I need for y'all just to shout out as you raise your hand, and then I'll call upon you, the names of well-known women and men who you know for their positivity and you admire them for their positivity.
On campus or in the world?
Doesn't matter in the world. We're going to go with Zach McQueen.
Oprah.
Oprah Winfrey. Would you please write up Oprah Winfrey? You want me to move this table for you? Yeah, it's Oprah. Does that help you? All you have to write is Oprah, and the whole world knows about her positivity. We're going to come back here to Donnie Isaza, por favor.
The only and one and only Dean Katz.
Oh my gosh, DK. I'm just so happy to be up there with Oprah. Thank you so much. Let's come back here to Victoria. Thank you, and then we'll come back.
Henry Ford.
Ernie Ford?
Henry Ford.
Henry Ford, as in the Ford, the auto manufacturer.
Super positive.
Henry Ford is known for being incredibly positive. We're going to come back to the back of the room first, and is it Darielle? Darielle. You're going to help me with that, aren't you?
Yes.
With a name like Katz, I like to get names right. So Darielle. We love Darielle. Talk to me.
Okay, Eric Thomas.
Eric Thomas. Tell us about Eric Thomas. Is that a man?
Yes.
And what does Eric Thomas do to be well known for his positivity?
He's a motivational speaker. You should look him up.
Oh, I have to look him up on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, very good. We're going to come back here and then we'll come to you, Zach. Yes, Dylan.
Ellen.
Ellen DeGeneres?
Yes.
Ellen DeGeneres. Yeah, just put Ellen D. We'll get it. Let's come back over to Zach Woods.
Steve Harvey.
Oh, Steve Harvey. Very good. All right, let's go back to Leonard.
Admiral McRaven.
Admiral McRaven.
Yes, sir.
Is that a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff?
No, he was just a high-ranking Navy general and Navy SEAL.
Okay, so Admiral McRaven, MCR. Very good. Let's see. We're going back here. Let's come up here to Sophia.
Coach Dow.
Coach Dowd. Oh, are you a varsity athlete? But you know Coach Dowd.
No, he was a coach at my school.
Okay, so it's not, this is someone at your high school.
Yeah.
Coach Dowd, D-O-W-D. Very good. We're going to come back. You, young woman, yes, please, and you are? I can't see what's in the house. Kinsacia. Kendasia. Thank you. Well, that was going to be my fourth guest, Kendasia. Thank you so much. All right, Kendasia, who do you want to talk about? Michelle Obama. Thank you so much. First Lady Obama, we're going to come back. Yes, you are, ma'am?
Caroline.
Caroline, how are you?
Good.
Good. Who is exciting to you?
Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande. Absolutely. The songstress, the diva, Ariana Grande. And we're coming back over here to Donnie.
Dr. Ana Maria Polo.
Ana Maria Polo. P-O-L-O?
Yes, sir.
Ana Maria Polo.
So Dr. A-N-A space Maria.
A-N-A.
N-A-A.
Like Anna.
Yeah, and then Maria, and then Polo.
We'll take one more. One more? Yes, India.
Serena Williams.
Serena Williams. Serena, S-E-R-E-N-A. S-E-R-E-N-A. Long time number one. Yes. Come on back.
David Goggins.
David Coggins. Goggins. Apparently you know him. So David Goggins. G-O-G-G-I-N-S?
Yeah.
David Goggins. You just put David G. How about that? All right, now we've got the left side. Let's give you another magic marker. Now we have those names up. All of you recognize some of them. On the left side, give me the qualities that make them a positive influencer in your life. What are the qualities or attributes that make them someone you admire for their positivity? Saskia.
That's a good question. That is a very good question. And I don't have an answer to it. So
And it's okay for you not to. So, but I love that honesty. Thanks so much. You see, that helps us become leaders too. That type of honesty. We'll discuss that in a future workshop. Thank you, Saskia. Yes, Donnie.
No judgment.
No judgment. Hey, Anaya.
Yes, sir.
Got it right that time, didn't I?
Yes.
Anaya. Have you met Darielle?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, great. It's a great way to practice both names, isn't it, Anaya? Thank you, Anaya.
They're outspoken.
Outspoken. What are the qualities make them? Yes, we're going to go back to Candasia. Is it K-A-N?
It's K-E-N-E-A-I-J-A.
Candasia. Thank you. Candasia, what are the qualities make them positive influences in your life?
They lead by example.
Oh, lead by example. Love that. Thank you. Just one second, please, Victoria. Come on back, Jace.
They help you build a better person, better habits.
Better habits. Victoria.
They never give up.
Oh, persistent. Never give up. Yes, we're coming back to you, Caroline, I think. Thank you.
They learn from their failures.
Oh, learn from failures. Yes, coming back to you, Sophia, that of Coach Dowd.
Doesn't care what other people think.
Okay. Isn't concerned what others think. Yeah, we're coming back to you. Let's see. First to Sandra, and we'll come back to Paris.
Personable.
Personable. All right. Let's let let me just get caught up. Thanks. You're writing very quickly, though. We love it. Paris?
They're innovative.
Innovative. I think they are. when you're up with me. You ready? Okay, we're going to come up here to Svetlana.
Confidence.
Confident. They influence you through their positivity and their confidence. Good. Okay, we're coming back to you. First you, let's go for it, Dylan.
They're one of a kind.
Unique. And we're going back to you, Leonard.
A belief in diversity.
And a belief and an appreciation and belief in diversity. Let's go one more. Let me go back to Candasia.
Yes. Resilient.
Resilient. Thank you. Thank you all so much. And we can continue to go on as to what they do for you. But why do they stand out? Because they have some type of positive impact in your life. I want you to have that kind of positive impact. Leadership and management without positivity and without regularly reinforced positivity is compromised. I can't think of anyone who exclusively works over a long period of time in galvanizing most people if they don't demonstrate some positivity and reinforced consistency in that positivity over the long haul. So many of these women in here have, even though I haven't met Coach Dowd or Ana Maria Polo. I'm sure that these are terrific, or David Goggins, these are terrific people. They've impressed you, so they impressed me because they impressed you. Would you advance the slide, please, Laura? Thank you so much. We appreciate you. All right. You're not going to remember everything that I said today, so we're going to have to practice the 3 things that you must remember for me. There are 3 attitudes that you've got to develop. And we're going to send you these slides after tonight's class. You'll get them. So if you'd like to write things down as I do, that's great. But I'm also going to forward you the PowerPoint after tonight's 45 minutes together. I am activated. You are important. Service first. I am activated. You are important. Service first. The 3 attitudes you want to take with you after tonight's 45 minutes. Are you ready, Elise, to see more about the first attitude? Thank you. That's it. A confident, happy yes. Positive and motivating me to continue. You feel that connection between us? Good. I do too. Thank you. Would you please advance, Laura? I am activated, which simply says you've got to get up every morning and start practicing as soon as you can, brightening up everything you do. It's what I call the sunshine wash. You get in the shower, and I hope you've got something peppy to listen to. You know, this is not the time to be playing funeral dirges. I need for you to walk out in the world and be a positive influencer in the way that you've isolated Steve Harvey, Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres, Serena Williams. These are men and women who have high energy and demonstrate that when they approach the world. You are to the world what you are demonstrating to us. So I am activated means you're going to smile when you approach others, you're going to greet them, and you're going to learn from an early period. All great leaders and managers know this theorem. You praise in public and criticize in private. I want you to remember that one. That's huge. Great leaders praise in public and criticize in private. That's one of the things I feel that you're being reared in nationally in a very bad way. We're doing a great deal to criticize women and men, even when they do things well. We can't let them, God bless you, thank you. We can't let them have the upper hand and say, we're not going to praise anything they do. That's all wrong. We're suggesting that it's, we're going to put you down for everything you do instead of rightfully isolating you for the good you brought the world. Praise in public, criticize in private. Now, to do that, I want you to ally yourself with women in this room who are learning about the impact of positivity. You've got to limit your exposure to the vexed. That's hard because your social media are full of unkind commentary. Now, how many of you are native Southerners? Oh, everybody, almost, well, it's 2/3 of you. Well, then you've learned that Southerners have been applying kind euphemisms for generations. Generations. So we can't say things like, go to heck, as they might on social media. We say, Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Or somebody is writing on social media these days across the planet, I could kill you, I'm so mad. Now in the South we say, I'll pray for you, Zach. That's our way of communicating our most intense anger, Zach. I'm going to pray for you, son. That's a way of saying, it's just much sweeter. It gets the point across. I'm so angry I could spit. But now social media are full of just 4-letter invectives and saying all kinds of things to you that can pull you down. You're addicted to your cell phones and to social media, but I got to ask you to pump yourselves up with as much good energy every day as you can. Separate yourself from the vexed. Psychologists have finally started to come up with enough information about your generation, Autumn, to tell me as a leader, I have to help you habituate the positive because you are being brought down by all your social media images. I've got more of y'all that are depressed, anxious, and worried about life, and it's linked to the images coming off your cell phones and your iPads. Did you know that? You are the most depressed and anxious generation we've ever reared coming to college. And a lot of it is now, we've proven in the science is connected to the incessant negative images coming to you. So I want you to separate yourself from the vexed and ally yourself with as many happy people as you want. You want a lift? Come see me. I'll give you a lift. I'll tell you you're looking good. We're proud that you're in upstate. You're a leader for the future. Lasky, I'm sure that you're going to help me run the world one day. Think positively about it. We'll be benevolent, won't we?
Yes.
But at the same time, you've got to see yourself in the way that I see you. And I want you to resolve yourself to be positive whenever possible by watching happy movies, listening to uplifting music, sit down and talk about the good that you see in the world before you inevitably revert to what's happening in terms of campus gossip. Sophia, you're part of Generation Z. We're not going to talk about that today. But Generation Z, when it comes to a college campus, has got so many social media images in its brain, you start rumors and gossip as a generation more quickly than any group I've ever seen. Conspiracy theories just jump out all over the place on a college campus. Our motto here at Upstate is, if you haven't heard a rumor by 12 noon, please start one. It's happening because you're hearing things about what administrators are doing or faculty are doing or what I'm doing. Heck, write me. I'll tell you. I don't have any secrets from y'all. Leaders tell the truth. I'm not going to put everything in writing sometimes because of lawyers, but when you call me or come see me, I'll tell you everything I know. As long as it's not about salaries or, people's divorces. I can't talk about those things, but I'll tell you about anything I'm making a decision about. Are you with me? All right, I want you to practice being happy around people and praise in public. Let's go to the next one, please. Remember the invisible badge? How many of you got your badge at convocation? Did any of you get one of these at convocation? Okay. I want you to pretend today I'm going to pass some of these out. Can you help me? Lauren, that's what we need to advance. Everybody wears an invisible badge. You're wearing one right now, Nandini. It's an invisible badge, and it glows in front of me, and it says, "Make me feel important now." People walk up, and they're uncertain, worried in this world. All we can do is, if we remember that every single man and woman that you walk into has an invisible badge, and they all want to feel better about themselves, you can do it. Everybody has a need to be praised. There are 3 universal needs. We're not getting into sociology today or psychology, Cassandra, but everybody has 3 basic needs. They want to love, they want to be loved, they want to be accepted. You just heard me say that everybody's being put down by social media. So, Lisa, practice being a positive leader. Practice sending the good news around by being positive. You can be hugely popular. As long as you do it with sincerity, you just have to notice other people's achievements and then bring it up to them. Now, you've got your cards, you've got your pads. I need for you to practice carrying those around, particularly when you're meeting new people, because we're in an increasingly polysyllabic world, and the 2 most important words in any human's life are their first and last names. And people will get it when you don't get a name like Britton Katz, right? The first time, oh, I've got so many derivatives. I laugh about it now. In my scrapbook over my life, my favorite envelope is one addressed to Mr. Brick Batts. Brick Batts, he's sounds pretty macho. I kind of like the name, actually. It sounds like it's right off Broadway. But, in other words, people are trying to get it right. But it really makes you feel good that when you encounter somebody for the 4th or 5th time, they've got the name down pat. If someone's met you half a dozen times and they still don't know the name, you feel less than. It's like, well, you don't really care about me if you didn't get it the first 4 or 5 times we were in the same room together. So you have to write it down after meeting them, just not when you're face to face. Or with your generation, use the cell phone. Okay, met Katz. Send a note to cell phone. And what I do every night after I've met y'all, several of you in a classroom, is that I'll put it, I'm old school, I write it down on a pad that I met you, and I say the name over 3 or 4 times. And then when I'm in a group setting, I practice it, Autumn and Nandini, how you doing? Nandini and Autumn. You know each other, Nandini and Autumn? Autumn, Nandini, you know each other? In other words, all that's about making certain I just mnemonically get it right. If I imprint the name wrong, you'll be Svetlana till the day you die, and you're going to be Victoria. So I have to work it hard, and you do too. So you want to write down those people's names when they're not watching. For you, it's an iPad or a cell phone. For me, it's just a written pad. You will make yourself very well regarded if you simply remember to get people's names right. The invisible badge glows in front of you. Make me feel important, Leonard. The thing you can do first is just to get the name right. And then as you're spreading, you've got your sunshine wash going, you spread the good word, you're greeting, you're smiling, you're saying, hey, Zach, how's it going? When you run into class or on campus or in these meetings, it goes a long way. And you think, well, that's not much. Really, Dean? I'm going, you just be surprised at how cold and indifferent the world can be. You, as a leader who wants to have a positive influence, will use these skills and make yourself well known as a result. But you don't depend upon your memory. You got to use your cell phone or your iPad and write people's names down, get the spelling correct, and get the pronunciation correct. People really, really appreciate that. Now, I want you to also practice the positive impact words. I take note on my social media, which is all positive. I don't have time for the negative stuff that is just awful. But I love to hear about what you've accomplished. And so when I get words that some of you've won awards, like I had a student just won a national fellowship, wrote his daddy right away. Right away. You don't have time for anything else in life. This is about leadership. So I wrote the father and said, oh, God, I heard Reese won the Goldwater Fellowship. That's just amazing. There are only a few that win that nationwide, and just so proud that he represents the university and your family. I got a note back in 8 seconds. I'm sitting there going, well, I hit the right nerve. Because it's all about the praise. I didn't write and say, what a lousy family you've raised. I'm so sorry that you're winning anything. I hope you die. Think about that. I mean, so all I do is write and say, he won. I'm so excited. Thrilled for your family. And he was busting buttons. But you had to pay attention to what y'all are doing. Be aware that I'm going to be spreading the news about y'all as the very first ever leadership cohort. And spreading the news that you are now leader at Hunsaker. Because that's what you're going to be to me as part of this groundbreaking group. Right? So you want to listen to what people are doing, read about what they're doing, and then report it back to them. Because so many others won't. Give a little, then take a little. I want you to take some time to find out what other people are trying to achieve and then help them meet their goals. It's important for me to find out what Dr. Kladivko and Dean Kerwald want from me first. And I ask them, okay, what can I do for you today? How could my administration support your office? Then the time comes when I got to ask them for a favor. I hope that good karma benefits us both. I asked first what I could do for them, and then I said, well, now can you do this for me? If you're the type of person that gives before you take, you're much more likely to be a positive, influential leader. But leaders who take and take and take and never give are much less likely to influence large numbers of people or even members of their immediate family. You've got to offer to help support others in meeting their goals, and then others will support you. All right. Listen and learn, then lead. Stephen Covey has a book out. It's well, just look up Covey. He's got several books. They're all excellent. But he says, listen carefully to people and seek to understand them first, and then you be understood. I want to know what makes you tick. I'm not interested in me. I'm not important, but you are. What you do for me at this university, you chose us for your higher education, you're important. I need to know what's going on in your life. Come tell me how I can meet your goals. Need a letter of recommendation? I'm here for you. Come hither. Make an appointment. Come see me. Let's have lunch. I'm going to ask you all kinds of open-ended questions, but I'm not trying to be unnaturally inquisitive. I just need to know what makes you tick. What makes you happy? You want to do the same thing too. Attitude number 3. Service first. Exceed the minimum. Have you ever walked into a store and found out that somebody was just completely disinterested in you? They couldn't even bother to look up. You want to take your cell phone and throw it at them, right? Or at the very least, you want to walk out. I'm a baby boomer, so my intention is if I can't even get your attention before I spend the money that I work so hard on, I'm just going to take the business someplace else. So you really love it when somebody just gives you beyond what you're expecting from today's world. Any interest in me as a human, you know? There's this cashier at Walmart over on East Main. I just got to see her every time I go through. Just have to see her. I can't get anybody else. I just have to see this older woman, old school, wants to talk to each client as we walk through the checkout line and talks to us about our day and her back and, you know, what's happening, you know, in the world. And some customers were they just weren't nice today. Why is that? You know, so those sorts of things engage me because she makes me feel human. And you need to do the same thing by giving extra. We don't talk about what extra is today. You feel it. You can't describe it as much as you just feel when someone is delivering leadership or management. You know when you feel important when you don't. Thank you. How many of you write handwritten thank you notes in an era in which it's now become email? Handwritten, 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 handwritten. Good, over here. I love to write them all in by hand. I'm just so, you know, it's your signature is just part of who you are. But y'all are a generation that's electronic, and so the experts are saying as long as it's sent by email, handwritten's preferred. But emailed thanks must be sent, and as soon after you've gotten the benefit of someone's help as possible. And you think, well, wait a minute, she's getting paid to teach this class. Why should I be thanking her? She's paid. That is her thanks. That's hygienic. We all expect when we're getting paid to check, yeah, okay, we're going to give you the best we got, but when a student comes back and y'all's thank you notes are on my door. You know, I just love putting your notes to me up on my wall because what do? It's the sunshine wash. You know, be assured the student who just got suspended for beating up his girlfriend is not waving at me with all his fingers. You know, I know that. You know, I like the 5-finger wave, not the other. And yet, so in other words, I need a lift when I've had to take that kind of action. Y'all give it to me with these thank you notes and these cards. And it goes a long way because so few people do it. You with me? You just don't get that kind of service anymore. Okay. Smile as you leave that final positive impression. And if you got a little bit of money, send tangible gifts. For God's sakes, I'm a teacher, so I don't have a whole lot, but there were 8 members of a recent team that brought Dean Kerwall to us. They put in 5 months of work weekly, had to read upwards of 90-something resumes and cover letters and a sequence of interviews and interviews and interviews. Well, I wrote a letter, put it on stationery, and I sent oversized candy bars. Not much. And you're thinking, oh, Britt, couldn't you have done any better? I'd like to have. I'm a teacher, so I don't have that kind of money. But I couldn't let that kind of service to university go unrewarded, unrecognized. So I wrapped the candy bars with the formal letter, thanking them for helping us choose Dean Kerwall, and I sent it out to all of them. Do I think that they noticed? I do, because I don't think it was the amount of money spent on an oversized candy bar. It's the thought that goes into knowing that most of the time it's just expected that we do that as part of our university service, and we're not going to get thanked. I got to thank. I just got to. I'm just obsessed with it. People are so burned out on being treated indifferently. It's as if, please stay at work from 5 in the morning till 8 at night. How are you being paid? That's not enough, folks. You've got to thank people in your life who've done something special. So when I have a big event, last night, how many of you were able to attend the first annual dinner celebration of the African American and Black campus community? Okay? Well, and thank you. What was your overall impression?
The overall impression was hearing Dr. Dean Harris speak.
Uh-huh.
And
first time being on Upstate campus, so overall it was just a great experience.
Thank you, Shemaya. So you had a positive feeling, and you saw the 10 seniors get honored in an expensive way. Anybody else have a thought about it? Yes.
It was very uplifting with the very emotional speeches, and the ending was just beautiful how they sung, and not only was the singer singing, but everyone else by looking at the back of the paper that was assigned like on every seat. It was just very united. I love that feeling, just being able to come together and like just come and bring it to a close by coming together and just singing. It was just a beautiful ending. I just really enjoyed it.
She's referring to the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice, and Sing was sung 3 verses at the end after 10 seniors got very expensive plaques for being the most outstanding in their categories: academics, athletics, leadership, and community service. So it was that, we hope it left them the kind of feeling we wanted them to. And then in addition, we took pictures. Those will be sent out to them and to their families. It's all about, we had a little bit of money. And women and men who've given 4 years of their undergraduate education, and they have given it in an excellent way, meaning they have been terrific by character, by disposition, by the work they've contributed. It's not enough for the university, just thanks for enrolling here. We sure have loved having you for 8 semester. No, no, no. It's about making certain that they knew their university loved them in front of a group of their peers. We had about 105, 110 present for that dinner, and those 10 students knew we loved on them for a minute. So when you've got the money, you find special and sincere occasions to honor them. Okay? You ready for a little exercise? Will you pull out your index card, please? Tell me when you're ready and you've got your pen. All right? Don't write anything down yet. Don't write anything down yet. Using your pad and your pen, write down as many of the items as you can remember. Oh, Caroline, you're not supposed to have done that. Don't, but you're a mentor, so you can get away with the rest. So you just don't share your answers.
We were supposed to write one.
"45 seconds, please, leaders." Anyone need a little bit more time? Because your memory is so good, it's practically perfect. All right, how many of you got all, say, 15 items? How many of you can remember 10? That's pretty good. How many of you can remember 5? Anybody not be able to remember any of them? Okay. What did you get out of that exercise for me, please? Jamia? Jamia. What did you get out of that?
And I got a good memory, I guess.
Well, good. If you're going to give me, I'm thrilled. That's going to help you. That is the best thing to have, is the memory. What else did you get out of the exercise related to what we've been talking about? Victoria?
Your short-term memory, it will go away quickly and you have to write, I like writing things down, but if you write it down, it will help you remember it rather than trying to remember it without writing it down.
That's it. Yes, and Leonard?
I was gonna say helping reminding of names.
You've got to remember the names. And so what I have to ask you to do is, the exercise to show you how quickly you've just seen those 15 items seconds before. And yet, how many of you could remember that without being cognitive that that's the point of the exercise, is that to positively influence people, we start with their names and start what's important to them. So when I sit down with you over lunch, and I will with all of you this academic year, I'm not going to be talking about what I'm doing. I'm going to be asking what's going on in your life. And I'm going to be writing it down, what's important to you, what's important to your family, things you've been achieving. Very soon afterwards, and you're likely to get a quick email from me saying, enjoyed talking about your planned trip to study, the Mayan ruins in Yucatan. Good for you. But it's all about talking about what the other person perceives. The positive influencer in you is going to make other people feel good about themselves because you took an interest in what they're doing. Thank you. Could you flip the... Yeah, so here's what we want you to know. You got to help people get in touch with you. They got to know where they are. They want to know what your name is too. Provide your email address, your contact, where they can reach you. I don't use a lot of Facebook pages unless it's for good news. If you've ever looked at my Facebook page, it's nothing but y'all's achievements. That's all I use it for. Upstate achievements, individual student achievements. The students that won the awards last night, on my Facebook page today. I can't get into the rest of it. It's just so painful. And it's hurtful to my students, and so I don't engage in it. So when you look me up on Facebook, and I think y'all need to do the same thing. You want to try to broadcast good news. So let me ask, as we're down to just 5 minutes, what'd you get from this? Anaya?
From the entire session?
The 50 minutes.
Just to be more positive in life and just look at life from a different perspective and not be negative.
And it's habituated. You might be surprised at how the world is hitting us incessantly with negative inputs. You're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough. I'm going to send you some nasty message over text or email, and it's going to make you feel rotten. The world is on fire. The world's at war. It's about habituating the positive and focusing on that if you want to be a positive leader. Thank you. Dylan, what did you get out of today's exercise?
The importance of getting to know everyone, people you meet.
Yes. Our intersectionality is hugely important, starting with our names, and then over time, you can just listen. We don't have to fix anything. We don't have to offer an opinion on what we're being told. We simply have to express a sincere interest in all that makes someone unique. But taking that interest. Thank you. Svetlana.
Just today at the George, they also had an event, and there were some people who came from their jobs, and they came to speak with us, the business majors, and they also mentioned how it is very important to network with people around you, because that is where you're going to find your future career. That is where you're going to be able to establish your connections. And just hearing this speech right now, it also reestablished that for me, and I really like to understand how important it is to have those connections, to write them down. They even mentioned that as well over there, because that is where you will find yourself in the future, whether you'll be working with them, whether you'll want to be in the same business as them. It's just very important to have those connections, and I just really like how you established that here. So thank you for that.
Oh yeah, we're going to have more connections in the future because you're here. You are a leader in the first ever leadership cohort leading toward the certificate. Thank you. Elisa, what'd you learn today?
Just getting to know yourself and know what makes you happy in life and
Yeah.
pursue that.
Yeah, and emphasizing the positive. That's what we want to do. Thanks, Emily. What'd you get today?
Being more intentional about my effect on other people's lives.
Thank you so much. Okay, Leonard, what'd you learn today?
The importance of names.
Names are hugely, hugely important. And people are very kind generally, and they'll give us 2 or 3 times to get to know it. By the time you meet them for the 4th or 5th time and you still can't get it down, well, there's a bit of a downer. There's a discouraging. So what can you do? You turn away from them after you've met them, you enter it in your cell phone, and then you just practice it, and you're much more likely to remember them. Don't delete the note. Keep the note somewhere till you run into them again. I'm not perfect by any means. If I go 6 months before I see you after today, I'm going to be hopeless. But I may see you tomorrow, and I want to be able to remember Leonard. That's important to me. Victoria, what'd you get out of today?
Handwritten notes are are not something that people get often, so because I've gotten one recently and it made me feel really good, and that's something that you might want to think about when someone does something for you, to give them a handwritten note.
Our handwriting is a part of ourselves, and it expresses us, whether it's block printed or cursive, or it's offered in a different language. It's about who we are, and it just impacts you in all the right ways. Of course, presuming too that the message is sweet. You know, that's what we wanted to get. It's all about expressing thanks. Zach, what'd you get out of today?
The importance of making a habit of being positive and appreciative.
There you go. That sums it up. Who else has a final thought today? Saya.
It's important to be positive and a leader so others want to do the same.
Yes. There you go. You're gonna spread the good word, and you're gonna influence others to want to be like you. It's so easy to be negative, people. Gosh darn it. We can walk around and be sour. That influences no one. And remember what I've told you about one of the basic theorems? You want to separate yourself from people who are vexed. If you're vexed all the time, people are going to separate themselves from you. So you want friends, you want to be influential as a leader. Paris, with that beautiful golden facade you're wearing today, thank you so much for wearing that. It's about the positivity that you spread. Final comments, everyone. I have 2 minutes to get us finished by 6 in accordance with Dr. Radcladd's schedule. Any other comment you want to make in observation? Then, yes, Sophia, Hunsicker.
Yes, interpersonal connection is key.
Interpersonal connection is so important. Can I tell you something? I mean this from the bottom of my heart. 5 years from now, after you graduate, you will not remember the first technical thing I did as Vice Chancellor and Dean. But you might remember who I am because of the way I treated you. I'm pretty well known in my field nationwide and achieved a great many things technically and have been a forerunner in some areas of social justice. You might remember any of that. But you will know whether or not I felt like I treated you like a human being, and that you were respected and embraced, and that I was sincerely interested in what you're achieving as an undergraduate based on our relationship. I'm focusing on that. I hire men and women who are better than me, stronger than me, smarter than me, like the women and men that I've mentioned earlier. But what they all have in common is they're student-centered. They've entered this field. We don't get rich, we get enriched by your presence. We don't get rich, Zach. We're enriched by being around you. And that's what makes us tick. So thank you. Connectivity of a sincere, non-cynical sort is what makes my world buzz. Thank you. We're going to close on an uplifting song as you get ready now to proceed to dinner, which is back upstairs, right? Would you play us out, please, Miss Laura? Thank you. And I hope you'll feel uplifted by this number. It's outstanding.
Sorry.
Can you turn up that volume?
I can, as much as I can. There's the song.
That's not enough.
Sorry, it's on the TV.
Thank you all very, very much for being here. Your first workshop will be following up. It's sequential. When you hear from me next time, we'll be talking about these basic steps, the 3 attitudes, and how we'll use them in other areas of our life, right? Attitude 1, 2, and 3. Let's start building now. Thank you all so much. Let's get excited together.